Well, it's only appropriate. We're in Music City, so the band Perry takes us into Nissan Stadium. The crowd still filing in and getting set for another sold-out afternoon here in Tennessee. Well, Chuck Pagano, he has had a tremendous amount of success as the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. He understands last year his team was 0-2 before they beat up the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's trying to tell his team that we've been here before and we understand this is a divisional game, so let's get ready to rock and roll. Ken Wisenhunt, his team played very well in week number 1. Last week he said the atmosphere in Cleveland kind of got to his club a little bit. The noise got to his club a little bit, and he's happy to be home where he can settle into the home environment.
It's a young offense. Marcus Mariota was in his second career game as an NFL quarterback. They had young wide receivers. Communication, especially up front, was a major problem in pass protection.
Colts have won the toss, and they have deferred, so the Titans will receive to begin the ball game. That is Pat McAfee. 5 kickoffs, 4 touchbacks this year, 99 touchbacks last season. He is the punter for the Indianapolis Colts, and he has a big leg. Bishop Sankey back deep to receive for the Titans. Sankey so far this year has been versatile, not only out of the backfield, but also has been one of the return men for the first couple weeks of the season for the Titans. Well, Adam, the Colts have dominated the AFC South. Can they do it again? We're going to find out in just a moment. McAfee has it teed up. We are ready to go from Music City. The Titans and the Indianapolis Colts, and the Titans will begin. 1st and 10 from their 20. Which maybe is a good thing because Marcus Mariota getting a chance to get the football right away. He said the ankle injury, he said it's part of football. He goes, I just rubbed some dirt on it, and I'm ready to go.
Well, the thing that you notice is he's making a concerted effort to stay inside the pocket and to keep his eyes downfield. But I think that God blessed him with an ability to use his legs. I wouldn't be surprised today if Marcus Mariota doesn't take the opportunity to make things happen on the ground.
Dexter McCluster gets the first start in the backfield. Tight end in motion, that's Craig Stevens. And the handoff to McCluster had a big day last week against the Browns. No gain. Henry Anderson makes the tackle. Let's take a look at the Titans offense. We begin with their offensive line. Jamon Meredith makes the start for the injured Chance Warmack at the right guard position. Specialty players, well, Delaney Walker is a huge get coming back from that wrist injury.
And tight ends were a big focal point of this offense. The first week it was Kendall Wright getting some big plays, but last week it was the tight ends that got him back in the game.
Well, Delaney Walker is flushed out to the far side, but it's Douglas who makes the first reception of the afternoon, a gain of 7. The Indianapolis Colts defense, well, their front 3, you have 2 rookies, Parry and Anderson, both college teammates. Anderson has been pretty strong so far. Linebackers, Jonathan Newsom will play for the injured Trent Cole, who hurt a knee in Thursday's practice. And Vontae Davis coming back from a concussion last Monday against the Jets.
Yeah, that was huge. They're struggling right now depth-wise at the cornerback position, but you got to really tip your hat to the way this defense kept him in the game last week.
Douglas in motion on 3rd down and 2. Manageable 3rd down for Mariota. Antonio Andrews is in the ballgame for the first time, and he had it right in his hands, and it pops out. It'll be 4th down, and the Titans will be forced to punt.
Well, this is what you want early, off the corner, and Mariota does a really good job of feeling the inside pressure, coming to his right side, and he finds the outlet receiver. That's an easy catch, something that you got to have in the first drive of the game.
Well, that was Eric Walden who was in on the pressure. Griff well and is back deep to receive. There's Kern ready to punt it away. This is a returnable kick for Whalen if he chooses to, but he decides for a fair catch, and the Colts will begin at the 23-yard line. All right, Andrew Luck has been one of the more prolific passers in football, but 5 interceptions the first 2 weeks. He's been pressured, there have been penalties, and he said it's 100% on him, the responsibility to turn this around.
Well, you would expect him to say that, but I don't think anybody truly believes that, because if it wasn't Andrew Luck playing quarterback, they'd have more than just 2 sacks this season. He would be on the ground. A good chance he would be hurt and not even available for this game. Up front, they've got to do a much better job protecting number 12.
Triangle receivers off to the near side on 1st down. The handoff goes to Gore running right. They said they wanted to get Gore involved early, and he's involved for a gain of nearly 7. All right, let's take a look at the offense for the Indianapolis Colts. This offensive line has been much maligned. Hugh Thornton makes the start for Lance Lewis, who's out with a shoulder injury. From a specialty standpoint, I think we both believe that Kobe Fleener is going to have an active day here this afternoon.
He has been missing in action so far this season. They've only thrown at him one time, Tom. One time.
Incredible.
Now, if this Titans secondary wants to play man-to-man, I believe Kobe Fleener will be a major matchup problem.
Dorsett is off to the far side. The handoff goes to Gore. His second run of the afternoon has a first down. And he's up across the 35-yard line. Michael Griffin in on the tackle. So was Zach Brown. Let's take a look at the Titans defense. Al Woods had a big week last week, but it's Jarrell Casey. He's been called a game wrecker by the Indianapolis Colts coaching staff. Meanwhile, Brian Arakpo, brought over from the Washington Redskins, loves playing for Dick LeBeau. And in the secondary, Cody Sensabaugh starts for the third straight week for the injured Jason McCourty.
Outside of 3 long touchdowns, Tom, this secondary has looked pretty good. But Andrew Luck is no Jameis Winston. He's no Johnny Manziel. This is going to be a major test for this back end.
Fleener's in motion on first down from the 37. Another handoff to Gore following the block of Fleener, and nothing doing. Jarrell Casey, the game wrecker, is in the backfield, and that's what the Colts were worried about.
Well, number 99 is somebody that you have to deal with. I mean, watch how he just destroys, gets off of the block, gets the penetration in the backfield. They're going to have a major problem up inside because Jarrell Casey, I don't believe there's many guards in the National Football League that can handle him man-to-man, and they're going to have to give him some help.
Frank Gore is out, empty backfield. Josh Robinson is in. He's in the slot to the far side on second down and long. Luck dancing in the pocket. He can run, and he slides down for a short gain.
Tom, the Colts talk about wanting to start fast, and if you've watched the Colts the last few years, that hasn't been a part of their offense. They've really looked sluggish in the first quarter and first half of games, and really, when you look at the start of this season, it's been the negative plays. It's been holding on their first drive of the game that have brought them back. It's been negative plays like penetration by Casey on that very first play, and they've been in a lot of third and long situations so far this season.
Well, that's something that Pep Hamilton and also Chuck Pagano pointed out yesterday. Here comes the pressure, and Luck is hit, and he is going down. He gets rid of it. Incomplete, intended for Dante Moncrief. How did he get rid of that? Derek Morgan was there to help out. Carl Klug was there too.
Inside stunt by Carl Klug. They bring him in on third downs, and that's just a bust. That's unabated to the quarterback. It looks like it was a blown pass protection by Josh Robinson, who had one of those last week against the New York Jets, and kind of the story of the Colts season. Penetration in the run game, big-time pressure on Andrew Luck in the pass game.
McAfee on the punt for the first time. McCluster back deep to receive. This is a high kick from Pat McAfee, and McCluster takes it at the 13, reverses his field, and there's not much there. Taken down by Clayton Gathers. So, Andrew Luck, one and done. Same with Mariota. We'll be back with Mariota's second drive right after this. Remarkable story right there. No opening drive touchdowns in the last 19 games for the Indianapolis Colts. Titans with the ball second time today. It's first down from just inside the 13. Antonio Andrews, who was out last week, is met quickly by Dwight Lowry, but is able to get positive yards. All right, Adam, let's take a look at the keys to today's game.
For the Colts, no drive killers, no holding penalties, no pressure, no negative situations. Defensively, take a page from the Cleveland Browns playbook and pressure Mariota and make it tough on him. And Tennessee Titans wide receivers have to step up. Defensively, they've been strong this season. 3 big plays, 2 of them in last week's game, cost them the Browns.
Stevens in motion behind the line of scrimmage. Second down and 4. Mariota to throw. Passes incomplete. All right, that's 2 drops. This one by Harry Douglas. 2 drops so far for the Titans receivers. That can't happen for them to be successful.
Harry Douglas is the one veteran of this wide receiver core, and they just haven't been able to get a connection so far between Mariota and Harry Douglas. That ball is behind him, but you would expect a guy like Douglas, who has been in this league, to be able to make that catch.
Still manageable, though. Third down and 4. This is what they faced on the last drive and couldn't convert because of the drop by Andrews. Kendall Wright in motion. Out of the shotgun, Mariota has some time, and his pass is complete, but short of the first down. Vontae Davis wrapped up Harry Douglas and took him down, so it's a 3-and-out for the Titans.
Well, it's going to be one of the matchups here today, Tom, is how does Ken Wisenhunt attack this defense? Because the Colts, very thin at corner. They're down to their fifth string, nickel and dime corner, and the strength of this offense isn't their wide receivers, it's their tight ends. So it's going to be interesting. Does he use his wide receiver and attack the depth of the Colts, or does he stick with what got him here so far and use his tight ends?
Griff Whalen back deep to receive his second punt return of the afternoon. Colts should have good field position. A fair catch called for. And Andrew Luck will begin at the 37-yard level. Vontae Davis said no ill effects from the concussion. And he showed none right there.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Honda. The power of dreams.
Well, the Ring of Fire is certainly what Andrew Luck has been in so far this season in the pocket. It's first down and 10. The ball sitting at the 37 for the Colts. Second drive of the afternoon. Frank Gore running over the block of his right tackle, has some daylight, and has a first down close to midfield. Don't miss the premiere of the new medical drama Code Black. Academy Award winner Marcia Gay Harden stars. Premiering Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Only CBS. 12-yard gain for Frank Gore. We thought he would be involved early. They wanted to get him in the rhythm of this Colts offense. Came over from the San Francisco 49ers. He takes it again, finding something on the right side. Positive yards inside Titans territory. All right, we had a developing story with the fact that Hugh Thornton was scheduled to start for Lance Lewis, but it's developing even more because they've changed their offensive line again, the Colts have.
It's a different configuration. Jack Newhart, who they moved to right tackle, is back at left guard. That's his natural position. Hugh Thornton is playing for Todd Harrimans at right guard, and Joe Wrights, who remember had 3 playoff starts last year and really looked good out there, is starting at right tackle. So this is a combination that they felt good about coming into this game.
Second down and 7 off the play fake. Luck's pass is complete to Doyle. And Doyle has a first down to the 39-yard line. Avery Williamson, Cody Senzaba in on the tackle. It's a gain of 9. And a first down for the Colts.
Yeah, inside, Tom, the center and both guards have been a very big sore spot. And you got to ask yourself how much of that was the Buffalo Bills and their defensive line and the pressure package and the defensive line of the New York Jets. I mean, those were 2 grown man defenses. And so that was a tall order for any offensive line. But up inside is a place where they really had to solidify to give their quarterback a chance.
From the 39-yard line of Tennessee, the handoff to Gore. Gore looking left this time. Flags come in, and he's inside the 35. Well, penalties have been a huge storyline for the Indianapolis Colts.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
So Hugh Thornton called for the penalty.
Yeah, here he is. Hugh Thornton is going to come here on the kickout block. And I believe that's going to be on Brian Arakpo. He tries to kick him out, and see he just grabs him by the back. Heck of a cut by Frank Gore to try and pick something up. But, boy, that's their 8th holding penalty of the season. And if you paid attention to this football team, holding penalties have been absolute killers.
Well, they came in tied for first in the league, and the holding penalties have negated runs of 12, 11, 30, and 12 again. Luck to throw. Moncrief can't hang on. Tight coverage by Bleedy Ray Wilson. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now.
Well, last night, remember, I joked to Pep Hamilton. I said, hey, do you have the most extensive first and 20 and second and 20 play section on your call sheet? And he says, look, I have to do a better job of maybe not trying to hit the home run and give it back, but just put our team in a better position. Sometimes punting might be the best option.
Second down and 20. Luck lofts it to the far side, and it is knocked away by Michael Griffin. What a play. Here comes a flag, though. Did Griffin grab the shoulder of Kobe Fleener to get some leverage? We'll see. but it's going to be a first down for the Colts, I believe. Craig Rolstad in his second year as a referee, former line judge.
There is no foul on the play for defensive pass interference as the action was legal. Incomplete pass, third down.
Well, Griffin looked like he was on the shoulder, but they decided to pick up the flag.
Well, great range. Michael Griffin coming from center field. And in the first 2 games, he played a lot as a linebacker, but Denoris Searcy taking a lot of the box duties right here. And Griffin shows his speed, gets over the top, and makes a terrific play.
All right, so terrific play, Mr. Defensive Back. It looked like his hand was on the shoulder there a little bit.
Sometimes you have to get an edge, Tom. But you're right. I think he might have. It was a terrific play to get over the top, but he did get there a little bit early.
Third down and 20. Frank Gore is out of the backfield. He's nearest to us as a receiver. Here comes the pressure. Luck has the pocket, throws long to the far side, and it's caught by T.Y. Hilton. Inside the 5, what a play by T.Y. Hilton. 48-yard pass play, and that is something the Colts have needed.
Unbelievable. The patience with his hands. Watch how late T.Y. Hilton shows his hands just at the last second, right as Ray Wilson tries to turn back inside. He makes the move. He gave no indication that the ball was coming. That was a veteran move by T.Y. Hilton to get that pass.
So now on first and goal, here's Frank Gore, who's stopped from behind. No gain on the play. Avery Williamson, great individual tackle. All right, last week, Gore was in this spot and fumbled. I mean, he wasn't hit. It wasn't a bad exchange. It was just one of those things. I think they want to get it into his mind a little bit and give him a chance to get into the end zone here.
I wouldn't worry about him fumbling. He's one of the best still at age 32. And that was just an indication that, things were not going your way. But I would not expect Gore to continue to have ball security issues.
Second and goal, Gore again toward the goal line, into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis Colts. It's their first half touchdown of the season. And T.Y. Hilton's 48-yard pass play set that score up.
Just hard-nosed running inside by Frank Gore. And boy, he's a running back. I played against Frank Gore, probably one of the most competitive running backs that I ever played against. You knew that when you laced it up and number 23 was on the other side, it was going to be 4 quarters of physical football.
So 8 plays, 63 yards. They split it right down the middle. 4 runs, 4 passes. Vinatieri's point after is good. And Indianapolis strikes first on top 7-0. T.Y. Hilton getting into the mix. The knee looked pretty good right there. And Frank Gore barreling in to give the Colts the lead. Chuck Pagano said after Frank Gore fumbled last week against the Jets, he said, we have to get him going early. There it is right there. Nobody touched him. He just dropped it. Well, Adam, they got him going here with a touchdown run in the first quarter.
And how about being able to overcome a 3rd and 20, dropping a bomb to T.Y. Hilton?
Chuck Pagano brought Frank Gore over from the 49ers. They have a history together from the University of Miami. The same with Andre Johnson. So here we go. The Titans' 3rd possession of the afternoon. They're down by 7. We'll be back to Tennessee right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Downtown Nashville's been happening the last couple of days. Taylor Swift with a couple sold-out shows. 8 plays, 63 yards. The first half score of the season for the Indianapolis Colts. All right, so now the Titans on their 3rd possession of the afternoon. They'll start with Sankey. Or I should say Antonio Andrews. And Andrews gets 3 yards. Tackled by DeQuell Jackson.
It's kind of interesting watching how Ken Wisenhunt using his running backs. Remember in that first game, I thought Bishop Sankey ran hard against a lot of 8-man fronts versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week, Dexter McCluster gave them a lot of energy, especially running that outside zone. And here today, Antonio Andrews, getting some early work.
Terrence West inactive today. He's fumbled twice since being acquired from the Cleveland Browns. Second down, Mariota off the play fake, under pressure, steps up and fires to the middle. Oh, what a catch by Hunter at midfield. Justin Hunter with his 4th reception of the year right in front of Vontae Davis, a 30-yard pass play.
Boy, it's good to see Justin Hunter getting involved, but watch the pocket work. Right here from Marcus Mariota. He's looking to the right. He feels a little bit of pressure, slides to his left, and then Justin Hunter working on Vontae Davis, going up and getting that ball out of the air.
Well, you can tell why he was a world-class long jumper when he was in college at Tennessee. He really jumped high to grab that one. Andrews is stopped immediately on first down. David Perry, the rookie out of Stanford, makes the tackle. So second down and 10.
Yeah, Justin Hunter is one of those guys that he's just so fast and has so much potential down the field. And he struggles a little bit against press coverage, and he hasn't really been able to make a big impact, but that's good to see early, that connection down the field.
Second down and 10 inside Indianapolis territory for the first time today. McCluster trying to find something through the middle. Now the middle for the Colts is brand new. I mean, Kendall Langford coming from the end, but David Perry and Henry Anderson, 2 Stanford University teammates who are manning the middle for the Colts defense.
It's a blue-collar defensive line. Henry Anderson is a get-off-the-block specialist, and he has been so good in stuffing that run. The entire defensive line has done an outstanding job this season stuffing the run. Now they just have to find a way to get to the quarterback and get some sacks.
Walker was in motion, pressure against Mariota. He breaks away. He's backpedaling, dumps it off to Stevens, who gets a few yards inside the 45. Well, he is elusive. Mike Adams was pressuring. Jarrell Freeman was in on the coverage. And the Titans will be forced to punt once again. You asked Marcus if he was going to use his legs a little bit more. I'm not sure if that's the way he thought he was going to use his legs a little bit more.
He's got gifts. And I do really believe that, much like the Seahawks use Russell Wilson strategically in the right spots. And I believe that Marcus Mariota has the awareness to not take those shots downfield. He has to be a weapon using his legs.
Griff Whalen calls for the fair catch. Colts on top 7-0. Andrew Luck, a pretty nice drive the last time. Let's see what he has in store for the encore. Chuck Pagano certainly engaged as a coach right now over on the sidelines, talking to his defense, chatting with Vontae Davis. And that secondary, which as we mentioned has been maligned, but doing a nice job here in the first half. Colts with the ball, up 7-0 on first down. Ball sits at the 13 of Indianapolis. Here's Gore, who has a touchdown already, and he dives forward. Your weekend starts with Thursday Night Football with Big Ben and the Steelers. Tough it out with Joe Flacco and the Ravens on CBS and NFL Network. Two of the premier quarterbacks in the National Football League. Roethlisberger's thrown for a ton of yards already this year in 2 games. Good start for Frank Gore. 8 carries, a little more than 30 yards. Quick pass play to Dante Moncrief. And he's close to a first down, but wrapped up shy of it. Parrish Cox makes the tackle. All right, so average yards to go on third down. Pep Hamilton told us yesterday, he said, listen, I've bought into it too. We're 2nd and 20, and I'm trying to find a play that's 2nd and 20. He goes, I can't do that. But he's facing a third down and short here. Luck from the shotgun. He hands it off to Gore, and he lowers his shoulder. And he's going to be shy of that first down marker. Zach Brown made sure of it. Interesting call on third down.
You can see that, Frank Gore coming into this game, they want to feature him. I believe that's already his 9th carry here early, and he's done a pretty good job. The offensive line has blocked it up pretty good. They had that one holding penalty, but a good athletic play by Zach Brown in reading out of that cut and getting to Frank Gore.
McAfee's punt. McCluster back deep to receive. So difficult to return a punt with Pat McAfee at the helm. In a game that featured the first 2 African-American head coaches in Super Bowl history, Lovie Smith, of course, your guy. Tony Dungy. Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff, 92 yards for a touchdown, but the Colts took over from there as they cruised to a 29-17 victory. Peyton Manning won his only Lombardi trophy and was named the game's MVP. Well, for 50 games for both Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, and Andrew knows that there's always a comparison between he and Peyton Manning. Look at the difference. He's actually started out stronger.
You look, everybody talks about the interception, but look, 62 interceptions for Peyton Manning. That's a big number.
The starting point now for the Titans with under a minute to play here in the first quarter. This is the road to Super Bowl 50, and that's why the 50-yard lines around the National Football League, the numbers at least, are painted in gold. And Andrew Luck hopes that Super Bowl 50 will be his first attempt at a Lombardi trophy. Second down and 9. Sankey with Delaney Walker in motion. We haven't called Delaney Walker's name just yet. Kendall Wright in motion. He'll take the handoff with a jet wide receiver sweep, and he's got a first down out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Jalil Brown knocked him out. 3 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Well, that's a heck of a block by Delaney Walker.
It was. He blocks well. He catches well. He's a great matchup in the passing game. And you talk to all the coaches for Indianapolis. They say, we got to stop number 13.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter. The Colts 7, the Titans nothing. We'll return to Nashville after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. We get set to begin the second quarter. Marcus Mariota with his team facing a 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Good solid run by Kendall Wright to give them the first down at the end of the first. Off the play fake, he steps up and he throws on the run, lofts it for Delaney Walker, and he let him just a little too much. Tomorrow, catch a new Life in Pieces, the most watched new comedy of the season after a new Big Bang Theory here on CBS. Well, Mariota probably could have run there for a few yards, but decided to try to get a quick pass off to Delaney Walker.
Well, he had Walker open. It's just a difficult pass. High degree of difficulty when you're moving to your left side to try and connect. But I still do believe that, boy, if he can make defenses account for his athletic ability in the run game, it would help the offense.
Off the play fake, the quick pass slant to Douglas for a first down. That was well read by Mariota. I know he's run a lot of that since his days in college, but that was a well-read play for Marcus Mariota.
He could run this in his sleep. He's reading Eric Walden, who's the forced defender. Everybody comes up to play the run. He sees that he has the open window, and finally, Mariota to Harry Douglas works.
Mariota now 5 of 8 for 51 yards in this first half. They move the chains. And for the second time today, they're inside Indianapolis territory.
I would expect Indianapolis defensively, they like to play outside leverage with their defensive backs, but watch them move inside to try and take away those slants.
The cluster is lined up on the near side. The pass complete to Delaney Walker. Walker was covered by Jarrell Freeman. And that was a huge missing piece last week against the Cleveland Browns, Delaney Walker.
It was, Tom, but they, Anthony Fasano and Chase Kaufman really made some plays. Those wide receivers had a hard time against Joe Hayden and that veteran Brown secondary, but really 9 catches for 126 yards last week. A lot of those in the second half. I think as a group, the tight ends really stepped up.
Second down and 4. Not much there, and just a gain of 1. DeQuell Jackson makes the tackle. Antonio Andrews. So this will be third down and about 3 for the Titans. They had a third down and short earlier. They had a pass play that was dropped. In fact, they've had a couple of drops here this afternoon.
Well, the first 2 drives, they had a chance. One, to get that first down. The drops have hurt, and you would have liked them to capitalize on that big 29-yard pass play to Justin Hunter. So third down, this is a classic man-to-man coverage situation. Look for crossers, especially with Kendall Wright in motion.
Well, he was in motion. The quick pass to the far side for Delaney Walker. It's hit into the air, and it's grabbed out of the air by Dwight Lowry up the sidelines. Mariota can't tackle him. He has one man to beat. He's going to go in. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 69 yards. Lowry the free safety will be credited with the score. Josh Thomas knocked it in the air, and Lowry was in the right place at the right time. Well, in a lot of ways, that was unlucky for the Titans, but this maligned secondary for the Colts stepped up and got a big play. And here's Vinatieri now for the point after. And the Colts are on top 14-0 with 12:59 to play here in the first half. Pass was on target. The hit popped it loose, and Lowry was right there to play center field. Marcus Mariota did what he could, but it just wasn't enough. The Colts on top 14-0. Welcome back to Nashville, where the score is 14-0 Colts. Earlier, the Tennessee Titans and the Colts joined the NFL and all 32 clubs in celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. As part of the celebration, Marcela Gomez, president of the Tennessee Latin American Chamber of Commerce, received the NFL Hispanic Heritage Leadership Award. This year, the NFL is launching a campaign called Feel the Orgullo, which means feel the pride, to celebrate the diversity and rich traditions of Latinos in the NFL and our country. Visit NFL.com/Hispanic Heritage for stories about Hispanic pride and culture from around the National Football League. 14-0 Colts on top. Titans will get it. Sankey back deep to receive. It goes over his head and out of the end zone. Well, this is a heck of a pop by the secondary for the Colts.
It's a misread. They're trying to run off Kendall Wright to run out the corner, and they think they have a man-to-man route. But Josh Thomas, you're going to watch him come off of Kendall Wright because he's reading the quarterback, and then he comes in and makes the big hit. So that's a situation where Mariota thinks he has the man-to-man coverage against a rookie nickelback. But Josh Thomas, the guy that was just signed to this secondary, makes a big play for the defense, and Dwight Lowry right there to pick it up.
Josh Thomas out of the Minnesota Vikings organization. Here's McCluster on first down. Nothing doing. Billy Wynn over from the Cleveland Browns makes the tackle for a loss of 1 on the play. It'll be second down and 11. We were in Cleveland last week. We saw number 99, the last name Wynn, on the practice field, and we thought, wait a minute, I thought they let him go. It was a different Wynn, and he wound up here with Indianapolis. McCluster and Andrews in the backfield, and now McCluster will come out of the backfield in motion. And the shotgun is Mariota with a screen pass dumped off for Andrews, has a blocker or two, and he's got a first down across the 30. Jarrell Freeman makes the tackle, a gain of 12. Well-designed play by the Titans.
It was, because Dexter McCluster is a passing game specialist, and they bring him across the formation to capture the attention of the Colts defense, and then they sneak the running back out there, and they pick up a nice gain.
Well, we saw last week the Titans fell behind, and they ran a composed drive to begin the second half. And if you're Mariota, 7 for 11 so far, you have to have the same sort of formula to get yourself back into this game. Still plenty of time on the first half clock. Off the play fake, they dump it off to Walker, who this time hangs on, even though he was popped by Mike Adams as he caught it. And he's a couple yards shy of a first down.
Now, this is a really difficult play to defend because it's a run and a pass option. A lot of times, it's just based on what Mariota sees after the ball is snapped. And if you sit back, they're going to hand that ball off. But if you come up aggressively, then that leaves that open window, and he is an expert at executing that route.
Even at his young age, just 21 years old.
There's Dexter McCluster right there. Let's see what kind of attention the Colts defense gives him.
From the slot, Mariota looking that way. Lofts it to the near side, caught by McCluster. And he's got a first down and a little bit more, dancing along the sidelines. Mike Adams eventually made the tackle, and he slipped down.
Well, here is the matchup, McCluster, and it's going to be man-to-man on Mike Adams. You're going to see a collision, and Mike Adams just kind of falls. McCluster gets the separation, and Marcus Mariota hits him with a perfect pass. You saw the impact of McCluster last week in the running game, but boy, in the passing game, just as he was in Kansas City, can be another deadly weapon for this offense.
Gain of 34 yards on first down. Andrews running left, has some daylight inside the 20. He's able to get another first down. Jalil Brown makes the tackle, but that's some good, hard running by Antonio Andrews.
Well, the tight ends right here, this is their best set so far this season. The blocking at the point by the tight ends. You get another terrific block by the center, Brian Schwenke. And a very good-looking drive right here, brought on by the explosive play downfield to Dexter McCluster.
Yeah, Stevens and Supernal both with good blocks. From the 13 of Indianapolis, that's Fasano in motion. The handoff goes to Andrews again, trying to get around the right side. He does, inside the 5. The flag is down. He's into the end zone. Right now it's a touchdown for the Titans, but we'll see who the penalty is against.
Holding. Offense. Number 73. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Well, that's a killer. That's going to be the rookie at right tackle right here on, I believe, number 92, Bjorn Werner. That's a close one, Tom.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Not quite sure. That's being tough on the 21-year-old.
Yeah, Taylor Lewan, who is the veteran now on the left side of the offensive line, told us about Jeremiah Potassi that he's worked hard this week to have different sets against different defenders, to have different techniques. It's a first down and long, and the handoff goes to Fowler, the rookie out of Alabama, who gets down into the 20. A gain of 3 on that play. Well, for the Colts, they get a break because of the hold, and Greg Minuski knows that. But for the Titans, you're thinking, man, we have a strong drive, we're rolling in, and the rookie comes up with a penalty. It's a tough one. Three receivers off to the left for the Titans. Still plenty of time on the play clock for Mariota. The shotgun on second down, lofts it toward the sideline, pass is complete. It'll be a first down to Kendall Wright. At least it looks like a first down, depending on the mark. No, now they're going to say incomplete. His foot must have been out of bounds, his second foot, when he had control of the football.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Third down.
Oh, I don't know about that. It looked like he had the toes in the second foot.
You're going to watch, I believe, the right foot. The
That's
left one's in. And then you see the toe.
He had control, too.
Get in. And I think they're going to have to overturn this.
We're kind of shielded on that play right there.
I think the way it looks to me, he got that right toe inbounds with control of the football.
There's 1, 2. You surprised Ken Whisenhunt is not challenging this? And now a timeout called by the Titans. They're going to take a little extra time to decide this.
It's a first charge timeout.
There's the red flag.
It's a 30-second timeout.
It has not been tossed just yet with 8:40 to play here in the second half. Well, a lot of this does depend on what they think the replay officials could see.
It's a smart timeout to give you an opportunity to see, because this is a major play right here.
Boy, it looks like that foot is in.
You know, the way I see it, that's a catch.
Now, he would be just shy of the first down. Watch it again. Boom. And then he goes out of bounds. Our officiating expert, Mike Carey, has been taking a look at this. Mike, Ken Whisenhunt has not thrown the red flag yet. What do you see from the studios in New York?
Well, I see that he's going to be wise not to throw the flag because this is something to know. Toe drag out of bounds is a catch. Toe heel out of bounds is incomplete.
Okay. Excellent call. So the full heel went out of bounds. Mariota to throw, and the pass is incomplete. No flags. Justin Hunter was the intended receiver. Josh Thomas was the defender. All right, so here we go again. This is what Mike's talking about, and it's a great point. Kendall Wright has it, 1 foot in, toes in, heel out of bounds. Not dragged out, but the heel out of bounds, so it is not a catch. This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt from Ryan Suckup. Neither team has converted a field goal this year. This is the first attempt for the Titans to try to get on the board. Brett Kern is the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is on its way. End over end, and it is good. The Titans on the board. Now they thought they had 7, but the hold by Jeremiah Potassi negated the run. 14-3, Colts on top.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX.
What do you think about it? Common sense.
Well, back here at Nissan Stadium, and how about this ball on the field goal attempt by Ryan Suckup? Hits the upright, the left upright, slips through. He goes, I'll take it. It is shocking that that's the first field goal for either team. 9 plays, 60 yards, 14-3, Colts on top. Varga back deep to receive. It goes over his head. Andrew Luck and the Colts will have it 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Replay every game of the 2015 season on demand with NFL Game Pass. Go to NFL.com/Game Pass to start your free trial. Well, both teams looking at their offense. Colts got a defensive touchdown, but they're still shy of 100 yards total yards. Tennessee, though, they've been moving the ball. They just haven't been able to punch it in for a touchdown. And movement on the left side of the offensive line.
False start. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So a 5-yard penalty. He was ready to go, Adam. Jack Newhart.
And Pep Hamilton digging into that 1st and 15 play sheet. And one more time.
He's got 3 receivers off to the far side. Josh Robinson, the rookie out of Mississippi State, in the backfield. He'll take the handoff for his first run of the day. Michael Griffin stops him at the 18-yard line, so a gain of 3. That'll be 2nd down and 12.
You see a lot more Michael Griffin playing in the box. And here in the last couple years, remember Bernard Pollard was a strong safety. And so he pretty much was an in-the-box specialist. But now you see with the bringing in of Denoris Searcy, more interchangeable safeties and just an opportunity to get number 33 around the ball more. He's done a great job up inside with those linebackers.
Been very aggressive the first 3 weeks of the season. On 2nd down, Luck to throw. Far side, pass completes. Dante Moncrief was the receiver. Parrish Cox in on the coverage. Well, Dante Moncrief had a great week last week against the Jets, while T.Y. Hilton was kind of shielded by Darrelle Revis. It was Moncrief who stepped into the spotlight, and they love the fact that he worked on his route running. They love the fact that he worked on his durability this offseason, all things that have been helping him evolve as an NFL receiver.
Kobe Fleener right here on the linebacker. Zach Brown, watch that matchup.
Andrew Luck just took a peek at it on 3rd down. He's looking to the middle. He's under pressure, and he goes down. Brian Arakpo. Brian Arakpo told us this week that this defense fits him to a T, which is why he came to the Tennessee Titans.
And they do such a good job. He just blows right by the best offensive lineman on this football team, Anthony Costanzo, the left tackle. And when you talk to all the coaches on this Tennessee football team, they say he was an amazing addition and brings so much to this defense.
Here's McCluster from the 25. Not much there. He maybe got 2 yards on the return. Well, Brian Arakpo certainly energized this crowd as he wraps up Andrew Luck for the sack. There's a flag down, by the way, on this kickoff. It was a late flag thrown.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 51. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
David Bass called for the penalty. We'll take a break. Marcus Mariota gets the ball back quickly here in Tennessee. The sack by Brian Arakpo forced the punt by the Indianapolis Colts, and now the Titans will begin 1st and 10 after the penalty from the 18-yard line. Anthony Fasano in motion. Off the play fake, Mariota to throw to the middle of the field. Pass is complete. Kendall Wright, now he's a playmaker. Yards after the catch is his specialty, and he's trying to stay on his feet up to the 33-yard line. Well, that's good, but there have been some drops here this afternoon for the Titans.
Well, you've seen some really good things from Tennessee's offense, but it's the early miscues that really put them in a big hole. A couple drops that would have gave him first down, and then a terrific play by Josh Thomas to knock the ball out into Dwight Lowry's hands, giving them a touchdown. But it's just taking advantage of your opportunities. They've done good things, but they have not been able to capitalize.
3 drop passes so far today. Mariota 10 of 16 for 128 yards. Here's Andrews on the pitch, and he's up to the 35-yard line. Let's get an update. Pittsburgh and St. Louis with JB in New York.
Tony, welcome back, Le'Veon. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell is going to get in here from 1 yard out. They went for the 2-point conversion after, did not make it. Pittsburgh up 9-0 over St. Louis. Back to Tom McCarthy and Adam Archuleta.
Won 7 of the last 10 meetings against the Rams. That means you were probably there the last time the Rams won a game against the Steelers.
As a matter of fact, in 2003, we did beat the Steelers.
There you go.
Aeneas Williams had a big pick 6 in that game.
Well, where is he now? 2nd down at 8. Mariota has time. Flags come in. Mariota rolls under pressure, just lets it go. He was wrapped up by Jarrell Freeman, but there was a flag way back in the secondary.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense, number 52. That's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's DeQuell Jackson, the veteran. 2nd on the team in tackles this year.
Terrific job up front by that Titan offensive line. And one thing you notice, number 8, he keeps his eyes downfield. Absolutely. He is not looking to run. He's done a pretty good job.
So first down up to the 40. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Off the play fake, Mariota looking for Walker, and he overthrows him. He had a little slice of daylight if the pass was on target.
Not a lot of daylight. Dwight Lowry was all over him. Well, DeQuell Jackson right here. We're going to look at that illegal contact and see exactly what happened down the field. You see him just put his hands barely on the tight end, Craig Stevens.
Wow.
And that's pretty fine too there, Tom.
Yeah, it sure is. See Mariota's numbers right there. 10 of 17, 128 yards. Colts showing blitz. Mariota lofts it again to Wright, and he overthrows him. Jaleel Brown in on the coverage. All right, so they had basically one-on-one with Kendall Wright and Jaleel Brown.
Well, what I like this offense is doing in this game, and I think that is one of the glaring parts in their first 2 games, is they're taking shots down the field, and they've identified some matchups, and they've been able to connect on a couple. Justin Hunter had a terrific catch early in the game, Dexter McCluster, but they really feel in these one-on-one situations with these defensive backs, they feel that they can win. And look, when you throw the ball down the field, sometimes it's low percentage and you can't hit them all.
That is Jaleel Brown, the 50-year pro out of Colorado, who is down on a knee and being looked at by the Colts athletic training staff. It is a thin secondary. It may have gotten a little thinner. We'll be back right after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. And by Pandora, The next song matters.
You want to talk about growing the game. Yesterday, local fifth graders met on the gridiron as the Ainsworth Bengals in orange. There they are. Took on the BGA Wildcats in blue. The Bengals led by Henry Cato, who wore number 8, and Cole Hooper, number 5, won 30-6. Always good to see kids just being kids and being active on the weekends. Third down and 10. It's a big one for Mariota, down 14-3. And he dumps it off to Fasano for a first down and more. And Fasano's ripped down by Jarrell Freeman. Boy, what a big pass play on third down for Marcus Mariota.
Oh, the protection again. There's absolutely zero pass rush. And Fasano, he's max protection look. So what he's doing is he's checking to see if the Colts blitz. And then once he see it, he drops off. The Colts lose him in coverage. And because of the time, Mariota is able to scan back to the other side of the field and hit his wide open tight end.
Anthony Fasano, the 10th-year pro out of Notre Dame. 99 yards away from 3,000 for his career coming in. It's a first down inside the 35. Mariota under pressure, and he goes down. David Perry, the rookie from Stanford, with the sack.
Well, Tom, this defensive line, one of the things that Chuck Pagano wanted to take care of in the offseason is work on the trenches, and he felt they didn't dominate enough on the defensive line. Well, they got a couple gems. Henry Anderson, David Perry coming from Stanford. They brought the grown-up of the group, Kendall Langford, over here, who has some experience, but this defensive line is active. And another nice job by one of those rookies.
David Perry, a former walk-on at Stanford, nearly a missed snap. Here's Kendall Wright. And Wright is stopped by Jalil Brown, who was out with an injury but now is back in. Here is that injury for Jalil Brown.
Tough to tell right there. But good news for the Colts, good news for Brown getting back in there. But I think it's wise for the Titans to challenge these corners. Jalil Brown came into this season the 5th cornerback in camp. After that, you have Josh Thomas and Eric Patterson. So you have to make those guys prove to you that they can cover your wide receivers.
Third down, here comes the pressure. Mariota steps up, throws to the middle. Pass is complete to Walker for a first down. This time he hangs on inside the 20-yard line. Mike Adams in on the tackle. Lowry was there as well. But a first down with 2:25 and counting to play here in the first half.
Because of the injuries in the secondary, Greg Minuski forced to play more zone coverage right now. And when you play zone coverage and you don't get a pass rush, that allows these wide receivers and these tight ends to find those soft spots. And you like the progression from Mariota, scanning it and finding the open guy, especially versus zone coverage.
A gain of 19 yards. We reach the 2-minute warning here in Tennessee. The Titans knocking on the door, down by 11. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart Boober, and Coach Cowher for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. First down for Mariota. That's Sankey in the backfield. It's been a nice drive for them. They've held the ball for over 11 minutes in this quarter alone, and Sankey down to the 10. Gain of 8. See the total yards for Tennessee, 155 this quarter. The Colts just 6. Now don't forget they had the pick 6 the Colts did in this quarter.
That helps, but you've seen Tennessee drive the field.
Right.
You know, there was a missed opportunity to score a touchdown on their last drive with what I thought was a phantom hold, and here again doing a good job getting down in scoring position.
This is their 23rd play of the quarter. Short gain by Antonio Andrews. Kendall Langford makes the tackle. 1:15 and counting still to play. 2 timeouts left for the Tennessee Titans. Looks like he's about a half-yard shy of the first down. There's Langford. It'll be 3rd down and inches.
Interesting, they put in Dexter McCluster and take out Andrews, which Andrews is really kind of a short yardage specialist.
And they have the rookie Fowler in as the fullback.
That has to be the option, that or a quarterback sneak.
On third down and inches, it is Fowler who dances his way through the first down marker to the 12. And we have 37, 36, 35 seconds to play here in the first half. Then the Titans have 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, plenty of time. You certainly don't want to give Andrew Luck anything on the clock if you're able to get some points out of this drive. But I think outside of maybe a handful of plays, this offense, a big improvement for where it was last week, especially in pass protection.
I think one of the big things is just that he hasn't been on his back. He doesn't have a lot of grass stains on his jersey. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. All right, Nostradamus, what do you think the Titans are going to do here on 1st and goal from the 8? Ken Wisenhunt has the 1 timeout left. Last week it was Dorial Green-Beckham who had his first touchdown reception in this area.
Well, he split out wide out there on Jaleel Brown here at the top of the screen. So you have a matchup right there that you need to take advantage of.
3 receivers to the left. Mariota dancing around, rolling, throwing to the back of the end zone. He throws it over the head of Dorial Green-Beckham. 2nd down.
It's interesting offense to kind of get a beat on because of Mariota's 6 touchdown passes. They've gone to 6 different receivers.
Yep.
So, you know, if anybody has been a focal point, he's tried to fit it into Douglas, but it's really hard to kind of get that feel. You just got to, as a defensive player, play your technique, trust that your teammates are going to get there, and it would help if you got some pass rush and put a little bit of stress on number 8.
He had a lot of stress last week against the Browns, not as much here this afternoon in the first half against the Colts. Walker in motion on 2nd down and goal. Slant. Kendall Wright. Touchdown, Tennessee. He broke the plane. And yes, sir, we have ourselves a ball game. Right there, he's in across the goal line. DeQuell Jackson was trying to stop him. So was Mike Adams. 2nd touchdown reception of the year for Kendall Wright. 13 plays, 73 yards, and now Ryan Suckup with the point after. Now again, this is not automatic this year, the extra point. Although Suckup is 8 for 8 on PATs. There have been 9 missed extra points so far this season. 9 missed or blocked. Last year there was just 8. Good snap, good hole. Kick is right down the middle. 14-10. Indianapolis's lead is cut to 4. 19 seconds to play here in the first half. Ken Wisenhunt congratulating not only Douglas, but also Kendall Wright with his 2nd touchdown reception of the year. It was a big drive, 13 plays. It lasted a little more than 6 minutes. All right, well, let's watch this athleticism for Kendall Wright.
Well, this is zone coverage, and he's a zone coverage specialist. Catches the ball right in front of Eric Walden, and that's as easy as it gets. If there's one thing that you should learn by now by watching Mariota, Kendall Wright, this Titans offense, they know how to run slants, and you better be prepared to take that route away.
Dorsett and Moncrief both back deep to receive for the Colts. Suckup is not going to take any chances. It goes over the head of Dorsett and out of bounds. Andrew Luck will have 19 seconds. Saturday, it's the best game for the best conference when the Alabama Crimson Tide takes on the Georgia Bulldogs on the SEC on CBS. The hoopla begins with Inside College Football and College Football Today. So 19 seconds left. This is the distance they have to go. 80 yards to try to get a score with 3 timeouts.
Most of the time, they're just going to try and pop a run and get out to the 30-yard line before they take a shot.
Well, there they go. Frank Gore trying to pop the run. Boy, you almost called it perfectly, up to the 38-yard line.
So now you have a chance. Now you can take a shot and get in field goal shape and get a chance.
So a timeout, the first one of the half for the Colts. We'll be back. They have the ball. Gets to play Andrew Luck as Povey Fleener inside Tennessee territory. He hangs on with 5 seconds left. Michael Griffin makes the tackle to the 43-yard line. So this would be about a 60-yard attempt for Vinatieri. It's a 19-yard gain. Now this is pregame. I know it doesn't always dictate success, but Adam Vinatieri, I mean, this was a 57-yard boot right here.
Yeah, well, most of the guys, the kickers in the NFL, they've got the leg. It's just not many people can do it in a real life situation. Now you're just fortunate that you just happen to have a pretty good kicker back there that has the capability.
Well, this is a 61-yard field goal attempt. Now McCluster is back to defend this one because he can return it. There he is. Pat McAfee is the holder. Vinatieri is 0 for 2 this year, a 52-yarder and a 29-yarder, and we've got movement. Jack Doyle looks like he jumps.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, it looked like it was Doyle, but they call it on Hugh Thornton. Maybe he moved first. So Chuck Pagano now has to change his thought process. I thought 61 was kind of ambitious anyway.
Well, yeah, but you really have no choice.
You're right.
Because you can't run a play in four seconds and have enough time to call a timeout and get closer. So you might as well. Why not?
All right.
Give the Hall of Famer a shot.
Yeah, you're the former defensive back. What are you doing here if you're a defensive back?
Well, you just got to keep it all in front of you. Make them dump it off, come up, try and make the tackle, get to halftime.
5 seconds to play. Luck steps up to the pocket. He pumps, and now he'll run it. And he just slides down, and the Colts will be content to have a 4-point lead as we get to the half. 14-10, Colts on top of the Titans. That's the end of the first half. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. Both ends of the ocean burning. Funny how the world keeps turning. Hot dog, hot damn. I love this American ride.
Oklahoma's Toby Keith, one of the princes of Music City. The Colts lead the Titans 14-10. We are at halftime here at Nissan Stadium. Now let's take a look at our DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. All right, this is the second quarter. Mariota looking for Delaney Walker. He has him, but Josh Thomas knocks the ball out of his hands, and Lowry goes all the way in for the score. It's one of the reasons why the Colts have not had the ball a lot offensively. All right, along with Adam Marcelletta, I'm Tom McCarthy. Productive first half for Marcus Mariota, even though he's down. Productive first quarter for Andrew Luck and the Colts, but they didn't have the ball a whole lot in the second. Andrew Luck and the Colts, but they didn't have the ball a whole lot in the second quarter.
No, and that's really a big part of their offense. And this quarter, or this next half, they have to do a better job of sustaining drives. Only 1 for 4 on third down. Big reason for that is some penalties. And defensively, they have to put pressure on Mariota. He is way too comfortable in that offense. For Tennessee, they have to continue to attack. Take advantage of a conservative game plan that's been decimated by injuries to the Colts secondary.
Well, there is Marcus Mariota. Let's take a look at the first half statistics for both of these teams. 71 rushing yards for the Colts, 54 for the Titans, but total yards, and this is because Tennessee held the ball for most of the second quarter. 231 total yards for the Tennessee Titans.
Now, I think you really have to like what you see from this Tennessee offense. And a big part of it is protecting Mariota, and that's allowed him to really work the pocket. You've seen him scan the field, and their receivers have done a really good job in contested situations and coming down with the football.
Ryan Suckup is ready to tee it up. You just saw Tyler Varga, the rookie undrafted free agent out of Yale, back deep to receive. And we are underway, the second half from Nissan Stadium here in Nashville, Tennessee. And the Colts will begin 1st and 10 from their 20. All right, this is one of the stunning numbers that you're going to find. Andrew Luck, 8 first-half pass attempts, the fewest in his NFL career. But that's what we talked about. The Titans had the ball for most of the second quarter.
A big part of that is because the Colts did get the interception for a touchdown, which put the Tennessee back on the field. You saw them come in with a game plan to really try and feature Frank Gore, and he did have some success. It's been some penalties that put them in first, second long situations that has really gave them a hard time in trying to drive down the field.
Well, that's part of what you were talking about sustaining drives. Here's Gore on the pitch, trying to find a blocker or two, and he's going to get a few yards before Michael Griffin takes him down. It's a gain of 3. Frank Gore, 11 carries now, 53 yards. They wanted to get him in the mix. That's what Pep Hamilton told us and Chuck Pagano. They have gotten him in the mix.
Sometimes it can be difficult because, as Tennessee has done and a lot of teams have done, they've played with an extra safety in the box. So you can say that you want to get the run going, but then you're just hitting your head up against the wall. You've got to be able to take advantage of those one-on-one matchups when they bring Griffin in the box.
On second down, here's Luck. The pass to Moncrief, a little too hard off his one hand. It'll be third down. Leedy Ray Wilson in on the coverage for the Titans. Colts have won 13 straight against the AFC South.
Well, third downs today have not been very good, only 1 for 4. They've really, this season, when you look at it, been excellent on third down, 48%. And when you look at their 3rd and 7th, they're first in the National Football League, 87% conversion on third downs.
Tyler Varga, the rookie, is in the backfield. There'll be an extra blocker for Andrew Luck on third down. Luck under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's hit. He loses the ball. I think he fell on top of it. He did. It'll be fourth down, and the Colts will be forced to punt. Carl Klug in on the pressure.
Well, right up here on Anthony Costanzo, there's pressure from all over. They loop Brian Arakpo from the inside, but really, it was Carl Klug coming off of that right edge, or that left edge, dominating Costanzo and getting to Andrew Luck.
Ball security has been an issue for the first few weeks of the season. McAfee on the punt. McCluster back deep to receive. It's a high snap. Boy, McAfee is so cool. He gets off a whale of a kick. And McCluster calls for the fair catch at the 33. Colts on top by 4, but Tennessee and Marcus Mariota will have it when we return here in the third quarter. Andrew Luck said he didn't care how they got there. He was just looking for a win this weekend against the Titans. It's been a tough one. They're up by 4. Mariota, first possession of the second half. Passes completes. Harry Douglas makes a fantastic reception, a gain of 12. Coming up next, the Bears travel to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seahawks, or the Bills battle the Dolphins.
Hands to the face.
Here on your home for Super Bowl 50, CBS Sports.
10-yard penalty.
By the way, there was a late flag. Craig Rolstead telling us there was illegal hands to the face against the Titans. So Mariota and that pass play negated on the penalty. Ball's forced back to the 24-yard line of the Titans. All right, let's see if the Colts can improve the pressure as we re-begin this drive. Mariota drops back to pass. Comes off the screen to Sankey. He has a blocker up across the 35 and still on his feet. Has a first down to the 45-yard line. Saw that play in the first half. It worked. It worked even better here in the second half.
The screen game has been working. And here it is, Sankey. Earlier, it was Dexter McCluster. And they move everybody to the right. But again, look at that offensive line. Get out there and get the block on Jarrell Freeman. And Sankey making some moves in the open field, getting a lot of that lost yardage back to his offense.
Gain of 20. It'll be first down for the 44. Mariota now up over 200 yards passing. The handoff goes to Andrews, and Andrews has a blocker, but there's a flag down in the backfield. It was thrown in the direction of Byron Bell and Taylor Lewan.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
He was frustrated on his penalties last week, he told us, and I'm sure he's frustrated here again.
You see him work on Jonathan Newsom, and Newsom kind of gave him an inside fake, and you see as he's going to the ground, he just kind of tackles that right leg. That was a good call.
Yeah, he was talking a lot to us this week about handling the pressure that the Colts were going to bring. Now, at that point, they thought Trent Cole was playing, but Cole was out with a knee injury. But he was also talking about Robert Mathis, and Mathis getting more reps and how he was going to handle him. So 2 penalties on this drive. Mariota on first and 20. Little safety valve pass to Delaney Walker. Terrell Freeman makes the tackle after a 5-yard gain. It's got to be frustrating, though, Adam, to have 2 pass plays, 2 big plays erased basically because of penalties.
No, they've done a good job moving this offense down the field today. They had a couple drops early. They had a miscue down in the red zone on a hold that should have been a touchdown. You had a Kendall Wright couldn't get his foot inbound. It's just been these little things that have kept them from having a pretty exceptional day offensively.
Sankey in the backfield on 2nd down and long. Kendall Wright, his defender had fallen down, and Wright has a first down to the 43-yard line. Mike Adams is the one who fell down. That happened in the first half, too.
Kendall Wright will eat up your zone coverage any day of the week. He's in the slot, number 13. You see the linebackers. Mike Adams is trying to cover him, but boy, that yard after the catch ability that he has will make you look bad if you give him some space.
This may be a basic question, but what makes him so good against zone coverage?
He just has that knack. Maybe it's coming from Baylor, that offense, just finding them those open spaces.
Off the play fake, Sankey out of the backfield, and he stumbles across the first down marker. Nice block by Fasano to give him a few extra yards, and also a good individual effort by Sankey.
It's pretty remarkable that you had to overcome 2 big-time penalties to start off this drive, and to be able to hit a screen pass and to hit Kendall Wright and dig yourself out of that hole. I mean, most offenses aren't good enough to do that, let alone an offense with so much inexperience and youth.
Look at that time of possession for the Tennessee Titans and the amount of plays that they have today compared to the Colts. Mariota's used 9 different receivers. Wright again is wide open inside the 15 and doing a little dancing down to the 7. 24-yard gain. He has 5 receptions for 70 yards. And Taylor Lewan is injured and down in pain at the 38-yard line. Taylor Lewan, who is as pleasant a guy as you will see and talk to. He went down in pain and was rolling around on the ground before the athletic training staff came out to talk to him. So we'll see what happens. We'll take a break and be back here in the 3rd quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by Dodge.
The Ryman Auditorium in the streets of Nashville. There's Taylor Lewan, who walked off the field, signals to his team, and was attended to on the sidelines. It's 1st and goal from inside the 9. And the Titans knock it on the door. Antonio Andrews into the end zone. Tennessee takes the lead. Even with the penalties, this turned out to be an extensive, well-done drive by the Tennessee Titans. Antonio Andrews inactive the first 2 weeks because of a hamstring injury. Picks up the touchdown run of 8 yards. And it's 16-14 Tennessee. Andrew Luck is probably just thinking, man, let me just get out on the field and get some time. He has not been able to find a rhythm. Time of possession is heavy on the side of the Titans. Ryan Suck up with a point after, and it is good. Well, it's a nice balance to have. McCluster, Sankey, and now Antonio Andrews finding the end zone. Antonio Andrews, an 8-yard touchdown run, 6 plays, 66 yards. It took 3 minutes and 42 seconds. They had to overcome 2 penalties before Andrews could pick up his first ever NFL touchdown.
That's the biggest thing that stands out, to be able to overcome that early deficit. But boy, the growth from week 1 to week 3, Mariota, downfield passing concepts. He has time, and he's able to throw the ball downfield for the first time in his young career. 5 for 5, 78 yards was Mariota on that last drive.
Varga back deep to receive, and he'll catch this one 9 yards deep and then fall out of the end zone. Well, the Colts are trailing. They've dominated the AFC South, 13 straight wins. In fact, the last time the Titans won a game against them, Matt Hasselbeck, the backup for the Colts, was the quarterback. They've outscored their opponents last year 185-85. We were here for one of those games. They were dominant. And again, the last win for the Titans, 2011. Matt Hasselbeck was quarterbacking the Tennessee Titans at that point. It's first down. Andrew Luck down by 3. And it's intercepted on the far side of the field. Parrish Cox inside the 10. He's down at the 3-yard line.
Parrish Cox coming over from the San Francisco 49ers. 5 interceptions, 3 pass breakups last season. They brought him here to get somebody to make plays on the football, and he reads T.Y. Hilton's mail. Perfect technique, jumps the out route, and makes a tremendous play for that Tennessee Titans defense. That was textbook technique outside by Parrish Cox.
That's 6 interceptions this year for Andrew Luck. So each team now with a turnover, and it looks like Tennessee is going to go for first and goal from the 3. He's going to go with their big man, Dorial Green Beckham, as one of the extra receivers in the huddle. Now every turnover is reviewed, and that's what they're doing right now. 9:41 to play in the third quarter. The Titans have scored 17 unanswered points, and they're knocking at the door again.
Don, they don't need to look much to see how pretty Parrish Cox's technique in man-to-man coverage out there. That's exactly the way you teach it.
The cluster in the backfield. Green Beckham is off to the right side. Low snap. They're going to loft it to the corner of the end zone. Dorial Green Beckham with his second touchdown of the season.
Well, that's the match. It looked like he got away with a pretty good shove out there on Vontae Davis, but at 6'5", 240 pounds, those are the types of things that he can do. I think Vontae Davis was saying that he got pushed off. And there was a lot of hand fighting and jockeying for position. The question is, did Dorial Green Beckham extend his arms to get Davis off of him?
The ever-evolving rookie, Dorial Green Beckham. The point after. Nice job by Kern handling that snap. The point after is good. It's a 10-point lead. Parrish Cox's interception set up the touchdown pass. Cox steps in front of T.Y. Hilton. He gets down inside the 5-yard line before he's finally stopped, and then the touchdown pass from Mariota. One rookie to another. Titans up by 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Rent.com, where everything's totally legit.
Ken Wisenhunt was talking about the fact that it would be 35 days between road games for his team because of the way the schedule is broken out. He said, we can figure some things out, get this young team settled in. Well, they're getting settled in here. They're up by 10 with 9:36 to play in the third quarter. The Colts will get the ball, but it's 24 unanswered points by the Tennessee Titans. Week 3 continues later today on CBS and for some of you on Fox. Then tonight, don't forget Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN, the Chiefs and the Packers. Dorial Green Beckham Was this a push?
Vontae Davis is saying that it was a push. Here's the matchup down here at the top of your screen. And the way I see it, as this route develops, Green Beckham doesn't extend his arms. It looks like Vontae Davis just fell backwards. Excellent play by the rookie out of Missouri.
21 points in the last 5 minutes, 43 seconds of game time for the Titans. Here's Luck, and he's under pressure, and he just dumps it off. He threw it in the direction of Frank Gore. Well, you talked about the Colts' objective defensively was to put pressure on Mariota. The Titans look like they're dialing up the pressure right now on Andrew Luck.
Yeah, they played it a little bit conservatively in that first half. But right now, this offense, they look out of sync. And they just don't seem like they have a lot of confidence in what's happening right now. And they can't go back with any early success that they've had this season. So right now is a very trying time for this offense.
See all the turnovers they've had this year so far. Comfortable pass play to Kobe Fleener, who's up to the 34, but there's a flag down at the 15. Another holding penalty against the Colts.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty, replay. Second down.
We asked Chuck Pagano, how do you fix it? Technique was a big thing. It's hard to fix these penalties.
Yep. That's Hugh Thornton, and I believe that's Jarrell Casey, who has a get-off. You see he just grabs him and slams him down to the ground. That's an easy call. Boy, it's this has been a story. 2nd and 20, 1st and 20, and they're just not too many offenses good enough to overcome it, and they certainly haven't shown the ability to be that offense this season.
2nd down and 20. Luck from inside the 5. Andre Johnson was stumbling as that ball hit him off the shoulders. That is the first pass directed to Andre Johnson this afternoon.
Well, T.Y. Hilton has been the target of choice this season for Andrew Luck. And boy, Andre Johnson comes wide open over the middle, and that ball just bounces off his shoulder pad. But, you know, I really think that Andrew Luck is missing that go-to target, that guy that he could throw the ball to when he's covered and he knows he's going to make the play. And that's what Andre Johnson has to be for this offense.
Titans are showing blitz on 3rd down and 20. Luck from his end zone has Fleener, and Fleener just gives him some breathing room up to the 20-yard line. Michael Griffin and Damon Stafford in on the coverage. It was Stafford who made the tackle.
Up inside again, Jarrell Casey goes through that left side of the offensive line. He is active. Dick LeBeau dialing up the inside pressure, bringing in Orakpo, getting Jarrell Casey in a one-on-one matchup, and this offense is uncomfortable right now. They're not used to being in this type of situation.
Well, you mentioned Jarrell Casey in the open and how he could possibly be a big storyline here today. And McAfee on the fake. He's got room to run. He's got the first down. It was not a great snap, and McAfee had daylight to the right, and he rumbles out of bounds after a gain of 18.
But it's hard to say if you're going to see the rush right here. You see the cut block by the wing player. Everybody else is going on the return. McAfee sees there's nobody there and takes off. And it was a bad snap. Boy, if that was a called fake punt, that is a gutsy call.
Gutsy.
Backed up on your 20-yard line.
How about all the games we did last year, all the practices we went to at Indianapolis, how much he wanted to throw a pass. Wow. He runs for a first down. Luck with a flag flying has Andre Johnson inside Tennessee territory. But again, it may come back, another holding penalty against the Indianapolis Colts.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Well, Hugh Thornton having a tough spot today. A couple holding penalties. You saw it earlier. There he is. Again at right guard, and he's matched up with Jarrell Casey. Well, he grabs Derek Morgan and just slams him to the ground, bear hugs him. And just when you think you get something going, Andre Johnson comes over the middle.
It's frustrating. There's no question about it. It's 4 holding penalties today, 11 for the season. 2 penalties on this drive alone. It negates a 37-yard pass play. Here's T.Y. Hilton. Well, you talked how important T.Y. Hilton is, and right there his athleticism was huge.
Well, it was a great grab. Slant inside. He gets inside position on Parrish Cox. Look how he goes up and just snatches that ball out of the air and gets upfield. But boy, you know, we talk about getting Andre Johnson involved, and he had the drop, and then he comes open, has a big play down the field, but because of undisciplined technique on the offensive line, it put the offense back.
4 yards for a first down. Luck is under pressure. He gets away, throws off his back leg, and it's intercepted. Zach Brown high in the air, comes to his feet, has some room along the sidelines, one man to beat. Nope, he runs into his own man inside the 15.
It's just a bad throw. Avoids the early pressure. But there's 3 Tennessee Titans right there. Zach Brown is right in the throwing lane. An athletic linebacker who missed all of last season with a pec injury. Goes up and gets an easy interception. That's 2 poorly thrown balls today. The first one on an out route to T.Y. Hilton, intercepted by Parrish Cox. And that one a gimme to Zach Brown. This defense has frustrated Andrew Luck and the Colts.
Andrew Luck will be credited with the tackle, but it was really Derek Morgan who was in on the tackle, his own teammate. Otherwise, that would have been another 6. Taylor Lewan, by the way, is back in. He left earlier with looked like an injury, but he's okay.
Well, expect a shot. Right now, the Colts are reeling offensively and defensively.
Delaney Walker in motion. The handoff goes to Andrews. And Andrews inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. DeQuell Jackson makes the tackle. Look at this. Last 10 pass attempts. Check, check, check. TD, TD. I mean, look at all the green. Just one red X.
Well, he's got to think his offensive line has done a terrific job. This has been an unbelievable bounce-back game for those front 5. But you have to also credit Mariota because he's throwing the ball down the field. And he's scanning the field and finding the receivers that are getting open against this Colt zone coverage.
Second down, they need to get to the 3 for a first down. 6:05 to play here in the third quarter. Kendall Wright tried a one-handed grab, but he just couldn't hang on. Well, that would have been a special grab.
It was nice. I would just run a slant. It was a great play-action pass. Kendall Wright trying to get over the free safety, Dwight Lowry, but I just run a slant to Kendall Wright. Right now, the Colts haven't been able to stop that play. And Kendall Wright has found a groove here today with his quarterback.
3 receivers off to the left. Hunter is off to the right by himself. Walker in motion. Quick drop, quick pass. It's complete. Kendall Wright inside the 5. Close to a first down. This will depend on the spot.
I think you attack. If this is short, I think you attack and give your football team some confidence against the Colts.
How about 3 tight ends coming in and Jalston Fowler? That's essentially 4 tight ends. And now they have Klug coming in as well. And a timeout is called.
First charge timeout, Tennessee. This is a 30-second timeout.
5:19 to play here in the third quarter. A 10-point lead for Tennessee. They were down 14-0. Tomorrow on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Don't miss special guest First Lady Michelle Obama. Plus Mindy Kaling and John Legend. Tomorrow on The Late Show. 4th down and a little more than 1.
Tom, heavy personnel.
Yeah.
You bring in all the cattle. Gear up for a short yardage run. This is an excellent time to spring a naked bootleg by Mariota. You haven't shown it so far this year. You get everybody geared up to stop that run inside.
Is eligible.
Let number 8 show his speed to the edge.
He has no rushing attempts here this afternoon. Klug is in as an eligible lineman. Jumbo package, unbalanced on the left side. And the handoff goes to Fowler, who lowers his shoulder for a first down. Well, I still like the idea of the naked bootleg.
Well, not as dramatic. Not as many style points. I thought it would have been a sweet one to see number 8. He would have got a touchdown, but evidently coach wants to just get a first down.
Well, they're going to keep that jumbo package in. 3 tight ends. Fowler is the deep man. Klug is the up man. The handoff is fake to Fowler. Mariota looking to throw. Now he's going to dance, and he throws it out of the end zone. That's the first time I think he's been down on the ground this afternoon. And truly, you and I did the Browns game last week. He was hit, banged, thrown to the ground. He had a bad ankle, and today they have protected him beautifully.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to see him break the pocket, get a run-pass option, because he's so fast. And they tried to get him with a play-action pass. I like the play call, but I just think, using that extra element that only he can give you in a goal line situation, it puts a lot of pressure on the edge players on defense.
Unbalanced to the left. The handoff goes to Andrews to the right, and he is snuffed at the 1. Eric Walden put up a wall initially. DeQuell Jackson was there too. 3rd and goal.
It was an unbelievable play outside by Eric Walden. He just fought off Craig Stevens, who's a pretty good run blocker, but just dominated him with his hands, got off the block, and made a big play. I'm going to say it again. I like the naked bootleg to Mariota in this situation. He's got a speed advantage on guys like Eric Walden to beat him to the corner.
Sankey checks in. He'll take the handoff right up the middle, and nothing there again. The Colts defense really stepping up. Kendall Langford from behind slowed him up. So it'll force a 4th down and a field goal attempt. Jarrell Freeman was there as well.
Good job up inside. They've been good all year in their run fits. DeQuell Jackson getting off the block, stacking it up inside against Jeremiah Putasi, and it's a pretty good stand right there. Indianapolis Colts defense, their backs against the wall, forcing the field goal in a 1st and goal situation. Got to tip your hat to Greg Minuski's group.
21-yard field goal attempt, and Ryan Suckup is 2 for 2. But if you are Andrew Luck after 2 interceptions, his defense stopping them here forces you to do a little fist bump. He'll get the ball back when we come back. Andrew Luck has had many signature games during his young career. If he can come back from this one, this would be a signature game. Down by 13 with 3:04 to play here in the 3rd quarter. He's had 2 interceptions that have set up 10 points for the Titans. Largo will let that one go over his head. Sounds like a broken record, and the Colts will begin on the 20-yard line. Third quarter. It's been remarkable action on a lot of different fronts.
The big thing that stands out, you have 2 poor throws here in the second half by Andrew Luck that has set up the Titans in scoring position. And to their credit, they've been able to take advantage of those situations. But those are some poor throws, but the offensive line has to step up and take up some responsibility. They are really hurting this offense.
Andrew Luck steps up in the pocket. He'll roll to his right, and he's going to try to run it. Andre Johnson shoves Sensabaugh just at the last moment as Luck runs out of bounds. Thornton was emotional on the last series. This is over on the sidelines. Chuck Pagano just trying to keep him positive.
They've been trying every single combination. Todd Harriman comes over here from Philly. Lance Lewis was the starting left guard for the most of this season. They come out with a different combination today. They kick in Jack Mewhort back to left guard, but the inside play of the offensive line has just killed any opportunity that this offense has tried to create.
On 2nd down, Luck wrapped up as he throws, incomplete. We've got an injury update of Ben Roethlisberger. JB, take it away.
And Tom, he has been Mr. Durable.
He sure has, JB, but right here you're going to see Mark Barron. He's going to go low right here, gets tripped up, certainly not intentional, hits Ben Roethlisberger's knee. He gets carted off the field. You see the look on his face, devastation right now in Pittsburgh. He's been ruled out, will not return for the rest of this game. We'll keep you updated as we get him.
Tom and Adam.
All right, guys. Boy, that is a tough injury for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Low-scoring game. Here, 27-14 Tennessee. Third down, and the pass swatted away. Derek Morgan got his hand into the lane of that pass from Andrew Luck. And again, the Titans defense stands tall.
This is all out. Zero blitz. Look at all these defenders right here. There's nobody in the middle of the field. They are sending every single defender to get to Andrew Luck. And the Colts cannot capitalize. Excellent play outside by Derek Morgan. But even if he completed that pass, that was going nowhere. This defense came to play here today.
That's to McCluster back deep to receive. McAfee had the fake punt the last time. It's the only first down this half for the Colts. And McCluster to the near sidelines, has it at the 24 and is taken down quickly. Good special teams play. Clayton gathers his second special teams tackle. Well, Mariota has been in control thanks to his defense, but also with the way he's running this offense. 21 of 32 for 271 yards. And here's the comparison to the two. And I think one thing that Mariota's had is he's had time compared to Andrew Luck.
It's a major difference. But you've seen good growth from Mariota. And down the field has been a big part of it. Keeping his eyes downfield, finding the matchups. But those guys up front are handling the Indianapolis Colts defense. There has been no pressure on Mariota today, and you see when quarterbacks that are talented have time, they can pick your defense apart.
From the 21-yard line, Antonio Andrews is the deep man in his I formation. That's Fasano in motion. Andrews takes the handoff. Not much on the right side, steps inside. And he'll get a couple and moves the pile up toward the 25-yard line. That's a pretty strong run of 4 yards. That man needs to stop right here.
Something has to happen. And just, you know, the one thing with this defense, there's just a lack of big-name playmakers. Those guys that can just win those one-on-one battles and get to the quarterback and force those turnovers. They just don't have that. And right now, somebody on this team has to make a play, give them a spark, and give this football team some confidence.
Ben Cole out with a knee injury. Robert Mathis is healthy, but not 100% as that play is blown dead. Looks like we have a false start on the Titans.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty, second down.
See Kendall Wright, he's not even involved in the run play.
Body moved.
That's not a good play. It looked like Dexter McCluster had a little bit of room right there, too.
He did. Well, there's that time of possession we've been talking about. They've doubled up, essentially, the Indianapolis Colts possession time. Sankey checks in the backfield. Second down and 11. Off the play fake, Mariota has time. Boy, he's been clean today. Lost it to the 46-yard line. Craig Stevens with the reception of first down and then some.
Yeah, two tight end set. You're going to see a double wing. Craig Stevens is going to come out here in the flat and get behind the cornerback that's dropping. And again, the time. These routes cannot develop unless you have time in the pocket to throw it. And again, Mariota sees the flaw in the defense and pushes the ball downfield.
27-yard gain. He is angling toward 300 yards passing here this afternoon. First down. The handoff goes to Andrews following the block of his fullback Fowler, and Andrews gets inside Colts territory to the 45. Zach Kerr makes the tackle. 8-yard gain. Hey, listen seriously. Last week, he was sacked 7 times. Wow. And today he has been pretty clean. 6 seconds left here in the third quarter. That'll be the final play of this third quarter. Marcus Mariota, 22 of 33 for 298 yards. Titans 27, Colts 14. We'll return to Nashville after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. We begin the fourth quarter. 27 unanswered points for the Tennessee Titans with the ball. Second down and 2. Marcus Mariota, 22 of 33, 298 yards in the air. Hands it off to McCluster, who has a little bit more. And he's down to the 35-yard line. Dwight Lowry makes the tackle, but it's a 10-yard gain.
Just a downhill cut by Dexter McCluster. Going to cut right off of number 77, number 76 right there, and there is nobody at the next level to get in his way.
First down for the 35. Buster's out, Sankey's in. He'll take the handoff, running left. And he'll gain 5. So they're running some time here too, but they're also picking up some big chunks on these run plays.
They are. The Colts defensively, they've been out there a lot in this game. It's just right now you're seeing a lot of confidence from the offensive line of the Tennessee Titans. They've been able to handle them in pass protection. And now here in the fourth quarter, when you really want to get those guys fired up, they are firing off the ball and moving that Colts defensive line.
Look at that time of possession. I mean, that is an incredible ratio. 30 minutes to 14 and a half minutes. Second down and 5. The cluster. Oh, man, what a hit. DeQuell Jackson. That is a big man's hit right there. Loss of 5.
Wow.
Take a listen.
Oh, that's a great play by Jackson.
Yeah, that's face mask to face mask right there.
Well, he gets off the block. He beats the rookie outside, Jeremiah Futasi. Gets off the block and makes a big-time hit.
Sankey back in. Walker, the tight end, is off to the right. He's the low man on your screen. The receivers left. Mariota looking left. Pocket collapses. He'll run away. And it's the first time today he has been taken down. Jarrell Freeman will be credited with the sack. It's actually the second sack of the day, but the first time since the first half.
That's a really good job by Jarrell Freeman. He's going to cross inside, but notice how he just filters through the traffic. As everything condenses, he splits up inside, gets outside for contain, and is able to get to Mariota. That's how you blitz, Tom, and make a play, get your defense off the field.
Brett Curd on the punt the ball away. Whalen back at his 10. Whalen will come running up as the ball bounces over his head, but covered beautifully. Leedy Ray Wilson in on the coverage on the punt team. Andrew Luck, his back is against the wall here in the fourth quarter. Your weekend starts with Thursday Night Football when the Pittsburgh Steelers tough it out with Joe Flacco and the Ravens on CBS and NFL Network. Now, normally we talk about Ben Roethlisberger, but he's out with a knee injury. Michael Vick is quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Boy, in that offense, getting Le'Veon Bell back right in time, hopefully getting Martavius Bryant. Boy, that is a major blow. That's an understatement.
Well, you saw that note on Andrew Luck. He needs 2 drives here. He's down 27-14 with 12:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. Quick toss to Moncrief. Trying to rely on his one-on-one ability, and he's thrown out of bounds by Parrish Cox. Well, there's no doubt that Dick LeBeau has put his handprint on this defense. He came over and is the assistant head coach. Ray Horton is still the defense coordinator. They're very close. We asked Ray about Dick LeBeau being here. He said it's like we never left each other. As Luck looking to throw, he'll step up in the pocket and runs out to the 16-yard line, but there is another flag down. Ray Horton said it's as if we've never left each other. He said, let's face it, if you have a chance to talk to Churchill and Patton about leadership, it's like talking to LeBeau about defense. And Dick says we're getting better each year.
Offense, number 80. The penalties half the distance to the goal. Replay, second down.
5 holding penalties for the Colts. Let's go to New York for an update, JB.
After spiting Dallas a 14-point lead, Atlanta has exploded.
Oh, they have come back in a big way, JB. Right here, Devontae Freeman, he's a big reason for that. He's got over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also, Julio Jones, he's at 9 catches, 143 yards and a touchdown. Atlanta takes the lead, 32-28 over Dallas.
Tom McCarthy, Adam Archuleta.
Man, JB, that's a lot of offense going on down at Big D, considering Tony Romo's out for the Cowboys. Here it's second down and 7 for Andrew Luck and the Colts. Down by 13. Quick toss, pass complete to Dorsett, the rookie. Philip Dorsett, the first-round pick for the Indianapolis Colts.
Boy, that's a great catch in here by Dorsett. And they needed that one in the worst way. Titans again bringing a blitz coming off of Andrew Luck's left side. And when they need it the most, they dial up the rookie and get it.
Again, this drive began at the 1-yard line, so they've got a lot of real estate to make up. Luck again looking left, throws to the 20 for T.Y. Hilton, up to the 22. Zach Brown makes the tackle for the Titans. Well, here's an update. Time of possession, 15 minutes, 29 seconds and counting for the Colts, but Tennessee, 32 minutes and 9 seconds.
That's unbelievable. It's so difficult defensively when you're on the field that much to make impact plays. But the offense has to do their part and start getting some drives together.
And not have these penalties. 5 holding penalties today. Frank Gore is a first down to the 30. All right, it's safe to say that the Colts have dominated the AFC South. They've won 13 straight within the division. It's the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. Dallas 14 straight at one point. The Dolphins 15 straight at one point. But again, the Colts are 0-2, still looking for their first win. Luck off the play fake, middle of the field, and it's caught by T.Y. Hilton right at midfield. Parrish Cox in on the coverage. Boy, this is what the Colts need right here.
Well, it's pretty remarkable because the Titans, in a passing situation, continue to commit their safeties down inside the box and play man-to-man coverage, and choosing to be very aggressive in how they're trying to defend this offense. And that's what you have to do, is make a defense pay for those one-on-one matchups.
Parrish Cox is the injured player down on the field. We'll take a break. 27-14 Tennessee on top of Indianapolis.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Toyota, let's go places. And by McDonald's, teaming up with the NFL like never before.
The Country Music Hall of Fame here in downtown Nashville, the Smithsonian Country Music. Titans are making some beautiful music here this afternoon. They lead at 27-14. 9.5 to play in the 4th quarter. The Colts trying to get back on the board. Andrew Luck, Kobe Fleener. And Fleener has a first down as he works one-on-one with Michael Griffin. 13-yard gain. Well, this is just what the doctor ordered for Andrew Luck as far as drives go.
Yeah, 6 for 6 so far in this drive, and they were able, especially when they started back within their own 2-yard line. So to be able to come out, their receivers have made a few plays. Luck has gotten the ball out of his hands crisply, but they have to be able to cash this in to have a chance.
To the middle of the field, he finds Fleener again, and Fleener is able to get down close to the 25-yard line. Griffin again on the coverage.
I think what's even more important, Tom, is holding. They did have one holding to start the drive.
That was number 5.
Right,
yeah.
But fortunately, they only went back a yard because of where they were on the
Half
field.
the distance.
But the thing that's plagued this offense here today is anytime something positive, something down the field has happened to try and build off, it has come back because of a holding penalty.
7 penalties today for the Colts, 5 holding penalties. On second down, Luck going to the end zone for T.Y. Hilton, and he overthrows him. He was locked in a pretty good duel with Sensabaugh. Cody Sensabaugh in for Jason McCourty. Yesterday, or 2 days ago after our meetings with the Titans, we had a sense that McCourty was going to play because he had been practicing. He was out with the sore groin. They feel like after next week's bye week, he'll be able to play in week number 5 of the NFL season.
That'll be a big part to have him back, and then Cody Sensabaugh can go back inside and play the nickel, the spot where he's more comfortable.
3rd down and less than a yard for Andrew Luck and the Colts. The handoff to Frank Gore, and he's got the first down at the 25. Well, they certainly needed that from the veteran Frank Gore.
Well, they got a great double team over on that right side, but really it was the extra effort. But this double team up inside kind of clears things out.
Colts now with 99 yards on the ground. Luck, a little hitch to the right a couple of times. Now rolls and throws on the run. Pass pass is incomplete. It'll be second down. 7:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Colts jumped out to a 14-0 lead. But Tennessee with 27 unanswered points. Hey, yesterday on CBS, you probably got a chance to see Tennessee and Florida face off. It was 27-14 Tennessee, and Florida came back and won that game. So anything can happen in the sport of football.
It can, but time's running out. 7:40 left in the fourth quarter, and Tennessee's offense has not seemed like they want to get off the field. So right now, you have to get in the end zone as fast as you possibly can.
Flags come flying, and I think we got a false start.
False start. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Play clock was winding down also. Got down to 1. So 5 holds, 2 false starts here this afternoon. Total of 8 penalties. Titans showing blitz. Luck steps up, tries to avoid it, wrapped up and holds onto the ball, and he is down at the 35-yard line. Jarrell Casey, he's a game wrecker.
Well, this happened because of Cody Sensabaugh and his coverage on T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton's right here, and he's going to run an angle route. But watch as this route develops. The coverage on Sensabaugh right there, and that's where Andrew Luck was trying to go to, but he was blanketed, and that's what allowed the pass rush to get to Andrew Luck. Nice coverage by Cody Sensabaugh and T.Y. Hilton.
And now a 3rd down and 20. Luck, middle of the field, looking for Dorsett. Leaping grab, touchdown Colts! The rookie, Philip Dorsett, they said he was ready, and he looked more than ready on that 35-yard touchdown reception.
Wow.
Well, that was Huffin on the coverage. He didn't turn around. So it's 6:49 to play here in the fourth quarter. Vinatieri on for the point after. And he boots it through. It's 27-21. 6:49 to play. Maybe Andrew Luck has a little magic left in him yet. Thanks to the rookie, Dorsett. Well, Andrew Luck was the first overall pick in 2012. And then, of course, Marcus Mariota selected 2nd overall this past year. Jameis Winston, number 1. These two quarterbacks, one has already been special and one is becoming special for the Tennessee Titans. 6:49 to play. Mariota will go to work, and look at the numbers comparing the two. Mariota, 22 of 33, 298 yards. Now Luck, 15 of 27. A lot of his numbers came on that last drive. It was a drive that was 12 plays, 98 yards.
Well, this is a 2-man defense, which means 2 safeties deep, an inside man by each of these defenders. But here's Dorsett in the slot. Watch the speed. Watch him blow right by Marquestin Huff. And Andrew Luck has to underthrow it. He comes back to the football. Huff's back is turned. And that's how you attack the middle of the field versus a cover 2-man.
On first down, Sankey trying to break free. Nothing doing. Eric Walden with a great defensive stop. All right, let's update the keys you had for us earlier, Adam.
Well, they really haven't done that. We've seen that. They really haven't been able to get to Mariota too much. And I think getting Kendall Wright, these wide receivers, they've done a great job of establishing that. And they've had a couple big plays. Early in the game to T.Y. Hilton. They're giving one to Philip Dorsett down the field. So that's one area that this defense could improve. But other than that, they've been harassing number 12.
McCluster checks back in. It is second down and 13. Mariota lofts it to the left, and it's intercepted by Lowry. Lowry breaking free on side of the field, out of bounds. His second interception of the afternoon, and that is a whopper.
Wow, this is Telegraph City. Dwight Lowry is right there, but Mariota is going to be there the entire time. Throws the ball a little bit late. There's no reason for Lowry to come off of his mark, and that's an easy break inside. Dwight Lowry, we talked about earlier that somebody on this defense had to make a play to spark this football team and get them excited to get them back in that game. Luck takes the offense down the field, and Dwight Lowry, coming over from the Atlanta Falcons, makes his second big play of the game.
Frank Gore in the backfield, little pistol formation for the Colts. So how about all that? 27 unanswered points by Tennessee, and now the Colts, after a score, can score again here and take the lead. Here is Moncrief, high in the air, touchdown Indianapolis! You want to talk about precision? The Colts have tied up the Titans with 5:53 to play here in the fourth quarter. Dante Moncrief.
Slant and go on Parrish Cox. And we talked to Pep Hamilton last night about their need to get their big wide receivers those one-on-one opportunities to be able to go up and catch the football. Dante Moncrief has upped his game so much from where he was last season as a rookie.
And you talked about trust. Andrew Luck having trust with his receivers. There was a lot of trust in that pass play.
Yeah, one-on-one, and boy, when your receiver rewards you by going up and getting the football, you can expect a lot more balls to come your way.
Well, that extra point wasn't pretty, but this interception was pretty. Lowry with the INT setting up the score for Dante Moncrief. You want to feed Moncrief? That's what the Colts just did.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com. And by Under Armour. Rule yourself. I will.
On a warm autumn day along the banks of the Cumberland River, the Indianapolis Colts have shown some life here in the fourth quarter. They've taken the lead 28-27. And now can the young gunslinger from Hawaii answer? Andrew Luck certainly has answered in this fourth quarter. There's Marcus Mariota. He'll get the ball back with plenty of time, down by one.
Well, it's unbelievable what the Colts have done here in just their last drive. And their defense has played a big part of it. They had the big pick six early in the game. Dwight Lowry getting back their offense, back the ball. It's just, you got to keep playing. No matter what happens in a football game, you got to play every single minute.
On first down, Mariota looking to throw, and his pass is incomplete, intended for Wright. Great coverage by Vontae Davis. Vontae Davis, who we talked to yesterday, who paid you a big compliment, Adam, when he was 17 years old. He said, man, I used to like watching you play.
Oh, I didn't know whether I should believe him or not.
You perked up.
You know what, Tom? I am susceptible to flattery.
Well, I like your tie today, too.
Thank you.
Second down and 10 from the 20. McCluster checks in. Next to Lady Walker in motion. Mariota steps up in the pocket, and he throws as he's falling to the ground. I think that was the rookie Henry Anderson, who was in the neighborhood, that forced Mariota out of the pocket. Henry Anderson, who is, as we mentioned earlier, along that defensive line with his college teammate David Parry. Anderson said earlier this season when he was asked at Stanford which teammate he would want to bring with him to the NFL, he said, well, David Parry, of course, he makes me better. And they are teammates now with these Indianapolis Colts. Third down and 10. Mariota down by one. Throws, and it's incomplete. Harry Douglas was the intended receiver. Vontae Davis, boy, he was all over his backside, but he knocks it away. And how about the Colts defense over the last two drives really coming of age?
It's really kind of unbelievable because this defense looked like They were gassed. They were on the field so much today, especially in that second quarter and in that third quarter. It didn't look like they had any more in the tank, but you get a big play by your safety, Dwight Lowry, Andrew Luck, and the offense comes to life, and then all of a sudden, this is a different ball game.
Drift well and back deep to receive. That's Kern on the punt. Well, and is going to give the Colts decent field position. 31-yard line is where the fair catch is signaled. Stay tuned for the NFL Today update presented by FanDuel. Time permitting, join JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Well, 2 scores in this fourth quarter for Andrew Luck. And now with 5:29 to play, don't forget they have a weapon that they haven't had in years past. And that's Frank Gore, who can kill time with the best of them in the backfield.
Yeah, it's got to be Gore time. Right now, this is a classic 4-minute offense. And you've got to be able to, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, to be able to close this out. No penalties. And keep on grinding.
12 carries for Gore. Nope, they're going to throw, and they dump it off to Jack Doyle, the tight ends. And Doyle has the first down and much more out toward midfield. How much did that 98-yard drive give this Colts offense some confidence?
Well, it had to. And I think you see what can happen, what they're capable of if they just don't have the mistakes. You know, they did have that holding penalty, but it wasn't a 2nd and 20 situation. They were down by their goal line. But if they don't make mistakes and allow their playmakers to just go out there and do what they do, then that's the kind of Colts offense that you can get.
Those numbers in this quarter offensively are ridiculous for the Colts. From midfield, it's first down.
Angle! Move 70!
Frank Gore following the block of Doyle. Scampers inside Tennessee territory. He breaks a few tackles inside the 30. There is a flag down at the 43-yard line in the vicinity of Jack Doyle and Jack Mewhort. That may be against the Tennessee Titans. We shall see. Gain of 25.
Tripping. Defense, number 91.
Wow.
That penalty will be added. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Derek Morgan with the tripping penalty.
Well, it's a good play design right here by Pep Hamilton. Both linebackers are blitzing over here.
That's a 10-yard penalty.
And watch the down block that they get. They kick it out. And Gore.
Oh, yeah, I could see it with his left leg. He reached back at Frank Gore.
Now, what a run inside. I mean, Frank Gore is a weapon. And they say running backs after 30, they don't have it. But I tell you, you put on the tape and watch the way number 23 runs. He's special.
Well, it's a 25-yard gain by Gore and then 10 yards on the penalty. Gore is out. Josh Robinson, the rookie from Mississippi State, is in. Luck to throw. Doyle again. Same play as we saw before. Down to the 10. Avery Williamson takes the tackle. They're trying to keep the clock running. Don't forget, Tennessee has 2 timeouts left. Pep Hamilton wants to choose some time, but he wants to get a touchdown here. He wants to extend this lead as much as he can.
Yeah, but you've got to chew time. You've got to be able to run that clock down. You can't allow Tennessee with a lot of time on the clock.
54.
They need to get to the 5 for another first down. It's still Robinson in the backfield. And he'll take the handoff running right, has blockers, breaks a tackle or 2, and then moves the pile forward to the 6. Daquan Jones, second-year pro out of Penn State, makes the tackle.
Tough run, making the first guy miss, but he's going to come up short. This is a big stand right here for the Tennessee Titans defense. And you go back, I mean, really the reason why this game is what it is that big goal line stand earlier by the Indianapolis Colts when the Tennessee Titans were first and goal from the 1. And that's the reason why we're in this situation. So right now, Titans defense have to try and get penetration and push that offensive line back.
Time continues to wind down. 3 minutes and counting here in the fourth quarter. Gore is back in. Titans show blitz. The handoff to Gore. Running right. Gets to the edge. Toward the goal line. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Indianapolis. There is a flag down. No flag, no flag. It's a white towel that's down on the field. Touchdown Colts. 34-27, Indianapolis on top on a 6-yard run by Frank Gore.
Wow, what an impressive drive for the Indianapolis Colts. Starting it off, getting it out to their seldom used tight end, Jack Doyle. Mixing in a little Frank Gore. Gore pops a big run. Another pass to Jack Doyle. And then Frank Gore caps it off.
How big is it to have Frank Gore in your backfield? I mean, 14 carries, 86 yards, but just how hard he runs the football.
They haven't had it. It's been a glaring weakness in this offense for the last 3 seasons.
Big extra point, and it is good. It's an 8-point lead, 35-27 with 2:51 to play here in the fourth quarter. This has been a remarkable turn of events for the Indianapolis Colts and, honestly, for Marcus Mariota. Colts last year started 0-2. We were in Jacksonville when they bounced back and won that ball game and won their next 5 games. They wound up winning the AFC South, 11-5, 3 straight years of 11 wins for Chuck Pagano. They beat Denver in the postseason and lost to New England in the AFC Championship game. 4 teams have gone 0-2 to start the year and have made the Super Bowl. The last time was 2007. The Colts 2 minutes and 51 seconds away from winning again against the AFC South. But the Titans only 1 score away from tying this ball game up.
And the Titans and Mariota have shown that they've done a really good job of being able to drive the ball down the field. And so, boy, this secondary, remember, this is a beat-up Colts secondary that has had some trouble with some matchups here so far today. So, an excellent chance for Mariota to run the 2-minute drill to come back in this game.
2:51 to play. All right, here's the score by quarters. So the Colts jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Then the Titans scored the next 27 points. And now here in the fourth quarter, the Colts have scored 21 points to take a 35-27 lead. You got to give Andrew Luck some credit, but you know, this offensive line, 5 holds, 2 false starts today. They've really stepped it up here in the fourth quarter.
But no penalties. Last 2 drives, no penalties.
First down for Mariota. Look at the total yards this quarter alone for the Colts. Mariota in the pocket. It's collapsing, and he's taken down. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by the Colts. They're going to say Mariota was down, though. We haven't called Robert Mathis's name all day long. They were picking their spots for him to come in off the Achilles injury. That was a pretty good spot. Second down and 16. Whistle blows, flag comes in, challenge flag comes in. Chuck Pagano's thinking, I think that may have been a fumble. Was the ball coming out?
Well, it's going to be close because Marcus Mariota lands.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling of the field that the quarterback was down by contact.
I think his butt hit the ground before that ball came out.
Yeah, he was on Robert Mathis, who swiped the ball away. Watch it here. Yeah, I think he was down on the ground also before the ball popped out. Right there, his butt is on the ground, and then the ball bubbles out of his hands. Hey, how about Robert Mathis saying, hi, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Who's number 98?
Mathis, 10 different procedures on that torn Achilles. Missed all of last year. Played 13 plays last week. Probably close to the same number here this week, but that was the biggest impact that he's had here this afternoon right there.
Yeah, he's a master at getting the ball out of quarterback's hands. 42 strip sacks, an NFL record.
Well, and he was going for 43 right there. So Craig Ralsted is under the hood. Folks in New York are taking a look at it along with him.
I mean, it's close. It's really close.
Al Hines is the replay official here today. I saw Al earlier today as he was going up to the booth.
I'm just not sure that they have an angle that shows that the ball was moving before he hit the ground.
I would agree with you.
The only thing, I don't think they show that, so I can't see there's enough evidence to overturn this.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The quarterback is down by contact. Indianapolis is charged with a team timeout.
It's not a bad challenge by Chuck Pagano. He's up by 8. Here it is one more time, and it stands. It's not confirmed. It stands. So there's no evidence saying that the ball was coming out. Clear evidence. McCluster back in. It's second down and 16. Mariota dumps it off to Delaney Walker, who's up to the 20-yard line. Terrell Freeman in on the coverage, so it's third down and 10. As the clock winds, 2:12, 2:11, 2:10. You keep coming with pressure here if you're the Colts. Mariota throws to the near sideline. Here's Walker for a first down. 2:01 to play here in the fourth quarter.
We'll go back to your question, Tom. I think Greg Minuski, he's a little handcuffed just because of where their secondary is, and I think you have to rely on a guy like Robert Mathis and Eric Walden to try and get to the quarterback.
Middle of the field, passes complete to Kendall Wright inside Colts territory as we reach the 2-minute warning. There is a flag sitting at the 28-yard line.
I think they got Jamon Meredith, who basically bear-hugged Kendall Langford inside.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Ooh.
Defense, number 93. Leg hit on the quarterback. The 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Eric Walden with a huge penalty roughing the passer.
The 2-minute warning.
The ball is moved to the 32 of Indianapolis. We have reached the 2-minute warning here in Tennessee. Well, this is the roughing the passer penalty that was charged to Eric Walden that extended this drive. 20-yard completion plus a 15-yard penalty. You can draw your own conclusions on that. It's first down from the 32. Delaney Walker in motion. Plenty of time for the Titans. They've got Walker, and Walker's out of bounds inside the 25 to the 21.
Colts right now playing soft defense, extremely soft defense. There's no pass rush, and Mariota will take that every time. With 1:50 left, dump it off to your tight end, pick up 10 yards. That's easy money.
Yeah, Walker went out of bounds to stop the clock. They don't have to use a timeout. They have plenty of time still. He lost toward the end zone for Harry Douglas, and he overthrows him. 1:45 to play. You okay with them taking a shot there?
Yeah, absolutely. They've been able to drive the ball down the field. Now, they haven't really gotten a chance to make a great connection down the field with Harry Douglas. I think maybe there's some better options. Get Kendall Wright isolated on somebody. Justin Hunter, allow him in that big frame to go up there and get it. Maybe a good chance to get the rookie, Dorial Green Beckham, a chance to go up high.
Beckham's off to the right. That's Wright in motion. Mariota under pressure, trying to get away. Just dumps it off to Green Beckham. Inside the 5, and he's upended at the 3-yard line. Well, that's an awful lot of athleticism right there by Marcus Mariota.
Well, pressure off of his right side, right here, and he feels the rush. That should be a sack right there. But boy, he gets it out there. Dorial Green Beckham crossing the formation. And the Tennessee Titans right now in business.
Well, we talk about comebacks for Andrew Luck. How about the coming of age of Marcus Mariota here in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, watch the slant here.
Mariota looking to the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Fasano, who thought he was held from behind by Lowry. 55 seconds to play. It's second and goal.
Well, that's good defense by Dwight Lowry. From outside leverage when the middle of the field is wide open. There's a lot of contact right there, but it was chest to chest. I thought that was excellent defense.
A lot of pass plays on this drive for the Tennessee Titans. They've got McCluster in the backfield.
You got to watch this combination right there.
Mariota lofts it to the corner of the end zone. And incomplete, but a flag comes in. Vontae Davis held Green Beckham. 51 seconds left.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. Since the penalty occurred in the end zone, the ball will be placed at the 1 yard line. First down.
Well,
Number
Vontae
97
Davis
is eligible.
is a Pro Bowl cornerback who's got skills, but it's still a big challenge no matter how good you are to guard 6'5", 240 pounds in a jump ball situation.
Fowler's the deep man. He'll take the handoff angle toward the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee! Jalston Fowler, the rookie. And now Tennessee 2 points away from tying this game with 47 seconds left. So 2-point conversion time for Marcus Mariota. Do you rely on his athleticism, or is there a certain play that you're looking for?
Well, you're going to have to isolate, I think, your playmakers. You look for Kendall Wright. You look for guys like Dexter McCluster. Get them isolated on a little matchup inside, because that's where Mariota has shown his best accuracy.
To tie this game up, 47 seconds on the game clock. It's 35-33. Indianapolis on top. Kendall Wright in motion. McCluster in the backfield. Mariota looking left, passing left, incomplete. Flags come in. Harry Douglas was pulled to the ground. Jalil Brown was in on the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. The ball was placed at the 1 yard line, and we will retry.
All right, now they're going to have their jumbo package come in. They're going to have Klug, the defensive lineman, come in. Stevens come in. And then
97 is eligible.
Fowler,
97.
who scored the touchdown, comes back in. You heard that Klug is eligible. He lined up as the fullback on the touchdown run. Offset I formation from the 1 yard line. To tie the game, the handoff to Fowler, looking left. He bounces, trying to get to his right, and the Colts defense is pushing him all the way back to the 16-yard line. For the second time today, the Colts defense stops the Titans from scoring some points, this time on a 2-point conversion attempt. And Fowler is hurt. Oh, man. His left leg planted as he was dragged down by Mike Adams. He just scored the touchdown to pull the Titans within 2. They get the penalty on the pass attempt to Douglas to put the ball on the 1, and they try the same play that led to the touchdown, and this time the Colts and their defense stood tall in the 2-point conversion.
Well, they tried to run behind Byron Bell, 6'5", 340 pounds, their best offensive lineman, Taylor Lewan, right here at the point of attack, but they just got rejected by the Colts defense. Bjorn Werner really is the guy coming off of the edge that stacked it up. That was an unbelievable effort from the former first-round draft pick to send Fowler the other way.
Well, now if you're the Titans with 47 seconds to play, you think an onside kick in this spot?
Well, you got no choice.
They've got some of the hands players that are in. Now, every kickoff today has been a touchback, but you're looking at a totally different personality here. And for the Colts, they've got Moncrief, Jack Doyle up to try to be part of the hands team on the near side. Griff Whalen is on the far side, number 17. Suckup does not like the way the football is leaning right now. Well, here we go. The onside kick. The bounce out of bounds. Well, there's not much you could do if you're the place kicker. Once the ball hits the ground, it's up to the turf which way it's going to bounce, and that one bounced out of bounds.
Yeah, it didn't even go 10 yards. Didn't even have a chance.
Nope.
Kick out of bounds against kicking team. The receiving team will take the ball at the spot the ball went out of bounds. First down.
Yeah, sideways bounce. And now if you're the Colts, you just have to run a couple plays. I tell you, this, if you're a head coach, there's a lot of
72.
tension involved in this kind of a game if you're Chuck Pagano.
There's a lot on the line for both of these football teams. Ken Wisenhunt trying to establish the Titans as one of the power players here in the AFC South. And, of course, Chuck Pagano trying to avoid that 0-3 start. And it was not looking good for his football team. But I tell you, the star of the show today, the 2 interceptions by Dwight Lowery, but that defensive line, 2 massive goal line stands that were the difference in the game.
Andrew Luck will just take a knee. Victory formation now as the clock winds down. And for the Colts, their streak is going to go to 14 straight against the AFC South. What a dominant run. It's the longest active streak. And it's tied for the second longest streak against the division in the history of the NFL. Reminder that they started 0-2 last year. They won 11 games, went to the AFC Championship. In this game, they looked like they were lost. They scored 21 fourth quarter points, and for Andrew Luck, 11 of 14 for 144 yards in the fourth quarter alone, and 2 touchdowns. Don't forget our doubleheader is coming up next. Chicago, Seattle, Buffalo at Miami. You will see one of those games. Luck will take a knee one more time. Marcus Mariota showed a lot of really strong components today to his game. He did have 2 interceptions. The second one to Lowry was a huge one.
The first one was a great play by Josh Thomas. He didn't recognize the coverage. Josh Thomas made a terrific play. The second interception was Telegraph City the entire way, and just one of the poorly thrown balls that he threw today. Those things are going to happen, but there were so many unbelievably great things that he did in this game. This was a great building opportunity and a great experience for the young quarterback.
Last play of the game, and Andrew Luck takes a knee. The Colts survive. They win at 35-33. Let's go to New York with James Brown. JB?